And running?
Ready to go?
Great. Thank you so much for taking some time
out
of what must be an incredibly hectic schedule.
Well, it's certainly moving at a fast pace, I will say that, but it's been fun so far.
Great. We thought we'd just start out by saying, give us sort of the 2 or 3 minute version of what you're most interested in the race, and particularly because it seems to me you already have a great job, and you already represent everyone in Massachusetts now. And so, what is it about the office of senator that you think is a different kind of opportunity for you for representing the people you already represent?
Well, that's a great question. It's one I obviously thought about before I decided to enter this race, because I love being Attorney General.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been my pleasure and a great challenge and rewarding job to be able to look at a variety of issues. But why I'm running for Senate, particularly because I believe that government should work well and it should work for everybody. It needs to do the kinds of things that we expect government to do, to keep people safe, to work on education, and it has to get out of the way when other enterprise, private sector, businesses that are growing need to be able to do their work. And getting that balance right is difficult, and I think it has not been as finely tuned as it should be. I think we have an opening in the U.S. Senate, and although we know we cannot fill Ted Kennedy's shoes, it's a huge loss for our state and for the country. And frankly, I think we don't even begin to know how much we're going to miss him. And to have someone in that position who has the set of skills and the interest to both recognize the big picture issues around the economy and how it occurred and how we prevent it and how we get back on track, on energy, making sure that we can be appropriately green, but while looking out for the costs and the practicality of where we're going. And obviously what's front and center right now, and is a lot of focus, is healthcare. Those are all tough issues themselves, trying to understand them, trying to formulate policies on them, and then trying to get a result as we move forward. Those are all skills that the next U.S. Senator is going to need, and I believe that every job I've had to date prepares me for this. Preparing and analyzing arguments, and as assistant district attorney and representing victims before a jury, understanding advocacy, understanding that when you're doing child abuse cases you need experts at the table and you need to figure out how you get to a solution. It's not just lawyers. As Attorney General, certainly, I have represented constituents on small cases. I'm getting a refund back from one of the big box stores, all the way to suing the federal government because we believe the DOMA is discriminatory and discriminates against our citizens, and really formulating important policies around predatory lending, how we change the law so we affect mortgage broker behavior, suing Goldman Sachs and getting money back, the only AG's office in the country to talk to them about their role in securitization and get results. And the healthcare, if you listen to President Obama the other night, sounded a lot like Massachusetts, didn't it? Guess where he's looking for his model? We've been on the ground with our healthcare division, with our appointees on the connector, in the role we play in antitrust as well as not-for-profit, looking very carefully at how the implementation of the individual mandate and the employer mandate has worked in Massachusetts. And we know that we have a huge upward spiral in healthcare costs. And as a result of legislation, we play a big role this fall in looking at what those cost drivers are. So I feel that because the new U.S. Senator has to make our government work well and work for everybody, voters need to decide who is going to be able to bring Ted Kennedy's incredible spirit, his ability to work across the aisle, push his agenda on health care, and make sure that his constituents get the responses that they deserve when they have problems, when they need someone to cut through red tape, when they have problems with the government or with industry. On the other hand, I believe that my background experience in those substantive issues here on the ground and working closely with our legislature, with our mayors, with our cities and towns and schools and the issues that affect them, I'm really pretty close to those issues and have a lot of experience with them. And I want to do this job, and I want to do it not only for Massachusetts, but as Massachusetts has been a leader in setting an agenda and looking at how we move really a progressive agenda along. I think I can do that job. I want to do it, which I think is important. Someone has to make a decision to get in the race and ask voters to vote for her, and I've done that. And I'm pleased so far with where we've been, and we're going to continue in this campaign to see what's on voters' minds. It's important to me to know, I can tell you what I think the big issues are, but I also want to hear from folks on what they are concerned about for the next U.S. Senator, I did that running for the Attorney General's office. Excuse me, when I became the Attorney General, I continued to work with folks. So it's about those issues, meeting folks, and continuing to do the job as U.S. Senator.